specifically, if you look at China, we have very low stocks of corn. We have a very strong import program of soybeans. We look at the import program of soybeans, and indeed some of those beans are going to reserves, but a lot of that's being driven by the demand for animal feed as the industry industrialises there. So the hog industry industrialises, the beef industry industrialises, albeit more slowly and not at the same scale as the hog industry, but certainly the poultry industry also. So the need for a Western style ration is becoming more and more prevalent in China, and the result of that is that we're seeing China's not able to keep up with this feed demand because prices of pork in particular, an important staple, are very important to the Chinese authorities for social stability and generally in the economy, and also for the economic well-being, given the inflation link that I mentioned earlier. So if you look at the imports of soybean meal or soybeans, 57,000 or million tonnes of soybeans converted into, say, 40 million tonnes of soybean meal, which is available if you think about a 2-to-1 ration for soybean meal, for corn to soybean meal. You're looking at 80 million tonnes of corn that they need to find to meet a modern feed ration for this industrialising hog and poultry sector. What we've seen is corn output in China increased 30 million tonnes over the last 5 years as soybean imports have gone from 0 to 55 million tonnes. And that's well short of the 80 million tonnes that you would theoretically say is necessary. Now, there can be a lot of reasons for that. The statistics in China aren't great. We know that some of those soybeans go into strategic reserves, so they won't necessarily require the corn to be blended and put into the feed ration. And of course, the animal feeding industry is not fully industrialised, so there is some creativity still in terms of the ration. So, but I think the point we highlight is just a fundamental issue of a lack of supply, and you see it more and more in pronouncements from the government in China, higher and higher in the hierarchy and regime, that food self-sufficiency is still an important strategic goal of the Chinese authorities, and they need to really focus on it because there is a massive challenge that they have in achieving self-sufficiency, or even 95% self-sufficiency in grains, which is what they have set as their requirement. So